Hey everybody, this is Eric Cuts for the win, and I don't usually do videos like this where I take an article and make a video based on that article, at least not an article that isn't mine. So this is kind of weird to do on this channel for me, but I wanted to talk about Titanfall today. I was already planning on doing it. I was going to talk about my recent thoughts about the game, and as I was getting prepared to do that, just now I came across this article through N4G, and it doesn't have a lot of hits yet. It doesn't have a lot of degrees, but it was at the top of the list, and it's called "The Noob of War: Why an FPS Hater Loves Titanfall." And I wanted to read the first paragraph to you guys because it's a good article. I really appreciate someone's honesty when it comes to this stuff, and it goes like this. I have a shameful secret. It's something I have kept close to me all these years, but finally I feel safe to speak out. I hate online FPS games. I hate them. I think the premise is boring, the players are unpleasant to one another, and most importantly, I am not good at them. He goes on to say, he says some examples like Halo, Call of Duty, that he was not good at those games, but then he talks about how he tried Titanfall. He played the beta and he loved it. And a few of those reasons have to do with the parkour, the movement, the way this game is just so different, which I can get behind. I totally agree with that. But he was also saying, he had a list of hints for fellow noobs. And these are kind of cringe worthy. So if you're a big FPS person, you're probably going to cringe at this stuff, but he does say, do not be afraid of AI mode. AI mode is your friend. So it's just kind of funny to hear his perspective. I think it's a guy who wrote this. And it's interesting because he's going on here saying he's basically a noob. He's calling himself a noob. He's saying he hates FPS shooters, but he's loving Titanfall. And here are the reasons. He says the AI, that it is your friend, that it's going to make you, do good, it's going to help you get kills and get your confidence up and all of that. And he also says this for number 4. This one's gonna make you cringe, okay? This one is shooting skills rusty or non-existent. Grab the smart pistol with auto lock. It works great and is the bane of my life. You'll need it to master some stealthy moves to use it, but trust me, many of the most badass players I have met are sporting that sexy weapon. Basically, if you guys have not tried Titanfall, it is the smart pistol is an auto lock gun. You don't even have to aim. All you have to do is just have the gun, and it will auto lock on, like, you can go up to, I think, like 3 or more players. I'm not totally sure on that. I think the most I've seen is 3, and it'll lock onto their heads. You pull the trigger once and it'll kill all 3 of them without aiming. So he is kind of right though when it comes to having to be stealthy, and you can't just do it and it automatically kills people. You have to get in position, you have to not be noticed, and you have to stay alive, obviously. That is true, but it's just funny how he's saying this in his article, because it's true. People really are thinking this way, and I think this article is great because it shows us, people who I guess we don't consider ourselves noobs at FPS shooters, it's showing us their mindset, their perspective, and I could appreciate that. Like, I like this article because he's being honest. And so I wanted to use his article to kind of segue into my video, where I was originally already going to say that Titanfall is what it is. It's Titanfall, and it's going to be a casual shooter for the most part. Recently I've actually been watching some gameplays from Arctic. If you guys don't know who he is, he was a big gearhead. That's pretty much how I was introduced to him, was because of Gears of War. So I value his opinion. I like his videos and stuff. So to see him enjoying Titanfall for what it is, and he's been expressing to others to do the same, it's put me on board. It's helped me to see, like, you know what, he's right. He's also been showing off his wall running. His wall running is on point. Like, this guy has it down. And that was refreshing to see, because when I played the beta for Titanfall, I felt like I was already good. you know, I was decent at jumping on roofs and getting up there, but after seeing his movement, I was like, okay, I have some things to work on because he's really good. And so it kind of helped me to get excited for the game again because there was something I can work on and get better at. Because I'm the type of person that when it comes to multiplayer games, I get most addicted to the ones that kicked my butt at first. Like, for example, Gears of War really kicked my butt when I first played it. Battlefield, The Last of Us, which you're watching right now, I had to play and play and play to get better. And that's just what you have to do. You can't just pick up and be good at the game. And with Titanfall, you could. You could pick up the controller and be decent, especially if you've played FPSs before, you know? So that was kind of a turnoff. But now I'm seeing, you know, these different gameplays. I'm seeing that there is a skill gap that can happen with this game. It's got me enticed again. So I'm starting to see it differently now. I'm starting to reflect more on the game, thinking, you know, even if it is casual, even if it's just a game to just kind of run around and do whatever, it's okay. It's not a big deal. It may not make that list with Gears of War and The Last of Us and games like that I had to get better at and that I got addicted to. It may not make that list, but it's okay. I've also been thinking that when it comes to Titanfall, regardless whether it's a great game or not, regardless of, you know, everybody loving it, hating it, or if I play it and it's the most amazing game ever, or I get bored of it in a week, regardless of all of that, I feel like Titanfall can be the start of something great. I think most of us can agree that when it comes to FPS shooters, it's kind of been going downhill, especially when it comes to Call of Duty and maybe to an extent Battlefield. Maybe there's just too many of them. They're all kind of like copy and paste of each other. You know, especially Call of Duty, the most recent ones, they're so much the same. And people have grown tired of FPSs because of that. And I think Titanfall could be that game that reintroduces FPS shooters and makes people fall in love again. It may not be all of us, but even if it's not Titanfall itself, it could open the minds of other developers and say, hey, look, here's an FPS shooter that is way outside the box. Let's make something better. Like, let's make something to compete with Titanfall. Developers can really do that, and I have high hopes that they will. There's another game coming out this fall called Evolve, and I'm highly anticipating this game. It's a 4-player co-op, first-person/third-person shooter, and I can't wait for this game. So games like that are already coming to us, and I'm thinking games like Titanfall and Evolve can really change the game. They can really make FPS shooters good again. I think now it's not so much, you know, let's do it like Call of Duty. Now developers are going to think, hey, let's do it like Titanfall, or let's do it like Evolve, you know? So this is great for us. I think there are so many possibilities now. I think developers are going to look at these games and look at Titanfall especially and think, damn, you know, we can do something even better than that. And they will. And it will just be awesome. And I think the FPS genre really needed this. I think they needed Titanfall just to kind of kick everything in the butt. Like, hey, there's other things we can do. We don't have to just do the traditional military shooters. We can do even more. And that is awesome. And I hope that happens. That's at least my way of looking at it. And yeah, so what do you guys think about this? I talked about a lot in this video. Share your thoughts with me in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. And I will talk to you all later. Have a great week. Bye, everybody.